Hi folks, Slice here. Now I've got another Cheburkov knife for you here. It's another Russian designed and Russian made knife. Now this is the Strich or Swift, which we've seen one of them before back in the very early days of my high-end knife series. We had its sort of baby brother, so it was the slightly smaller sized but also rather more fancy version of it. It had carbon fibre covers and a Damascus blade. I was not a fan of the Damascus blade, but I did quite like the covers. This one here is more of a full-size knife. It's not a massive knife, but it's kind of large Sebenza sized. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. This one is quite plain, but plain in a very practical, useful kind of a way, because we're talking about bronze anodized covers, and with it being a liner lock, it's relatively ambidextrous in the hand. It kind of feels fairly natural either way. The particular type of clip that it has is quite relatively flat, relatively unobtrusive, no real hot spots from it. So that works fine, even though it's not reversible. But it's it's a very nice, plain, handsome piece. It's quite slim in the pocket. You've got a full backspace around there in titanium. Obviously the handles are slabs of titanium as well. So unlike the other one, this one is rather more straightforward to look at, less of the jazzy materials. The only real downside to this one is the fact that it has the thumb stud on one side only, and being a thumb stud opener, not a flipper, that is a little bit of a disadvantage for a left-handed person, because there's no way to open it with your left hand other than opening it two-handed. Now, I suspect, I don't know this, I suspect that a thumb stud there could be unscrewed and screwed in from the other side. I don't know that, and it's not mine, so I'm not going to try it. But it would put me off buying the knife in the first place, which is a shame, because otherwise it is quite a nice piece. Obviously it's too big in its locking, so you couldn't carry it in the UK anyway. But it's getting more towards the sort of knife you could justify the use of, in that it's not a fancy piece, it's a solid working knife. Now, as I say, opening it, I have to just do it two-handed. There's no other way around it, with the thumb stud the way that it is, but it's easy enough to open. And actually, I mean, it's fine. I don't really have any problems with it, but I'm not sure I would want to spend the sort of money one of these costs and then not be able to open it reasonably easily. I don't know if they do a left-handed version. It would be nice if they did, but you can't expect them to. But just whatever it is, 5% of the population that is left-handed. Now, as I say, in terms of size, it's large Sebenza sized, almost identically actually. Certainly in terms of blade length and cutting edge. The Cheburkov is broader, but it's also a little thinner in this dimension than the Sebenza. So it kind of feels similar in the hand, certainly in terms of overall size, but it's obviously slightly thinner when you're trying to put a bit more sort of force onto the knife. But this has a much slimmer, slicier, full, flat blade in M390. Obviously the Sebenza now comes in Magna Cut. My one is just S35VN, mere S35VN. So this one is nice. It's very sterile to look at. I'll just put the Sabens out of the way for now. We just have the little Cheburkov symbol on there. We have the steel, which, as I say, is M390 on there, and then on what would be the flipper tab if it had such a thing. It tells you the year that it was made and the little Cheburkov badge. If I can get that in focus, I'd tell you what the year was, but it just doesn't seem to want to focus. Anyway, there we are. So as I say, it's a liner lock, good solid lock up on there. I presume that's a steel liner because there doesn't seem to be any sort of insert between it and the blade, and that would make most sense. It's not going to add much to the weight of the knife, but it'll add quite a bit of usefulness in the springiness of the steel. Steel's still better for making springs out of in many sort of ordinary applications. And as I say, we've got a nice useful clip, and it's in bronze, and it's just a nice knife to have and to hold, and I would recommend it to anybody that needs a knife of this type, because it really is very well made, lovely action on it, just beautiful. So if you like this stuff, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of this, please subscribe and remember to ring the notifications bell, and I'll see you in the next one. We have some more Cheburkovs to come, and I'll show you those, and then I have a plethora of other knives, some from Sheffield, some from Japan, and yeah, there's just so many to get through. I will start to get through them as soon as I can. Okay, thanks very much.